Hey guys, and welcome to this swipe video in the Swiping Secrets group. And today, actually, I decided to do a wipe video and to bring a guest in our group. And this is a guy who is really good when it comes to cold approach pickup and when it comes to meeting women in person. And I want to bring him over today in order for him to tell you a bit more when it comes to how he approaches women and how he meets them over, and also what are his strategies when it comes to doing it correctly. So today on the call so he can share a bit more when it comes to how he does. Hello Trey, what's up?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here today. And maybe you can, first of all, introduce a bit more about yourself. And you can explain them about how you learn about cold approach pickup, what got you into that. And yeah, maybe you can first of all introduce yourself and explain a bit more about your backstory and what really brought you to that and what motivated you to learn that.
Yeah. What's up, fellas? My name is Trey Morgan, and just a quick story about myself. Uh, High school, middle school, man, I used to be super shy. I used to be the guy who was quiet in class. I wouldn't speak up. I
Mm-hmm.
used to try to act tough, like be a tough black kid or whatever. But when it came to the girls, man, I was scared shitless, man. I wouldn't say a word. I remember sometimes I would try to talk to a girl, I'd be sweating. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I was just horrible with girls, bro. So when I got out of high school, I never had a girlfriend. I never kissed a girl. I was still a virgin. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's some bullshit, man. I'm gonna do something about this. And that's when I looked online and I found out about Cold Approach on YouTube. I saw guys going out approaching girls. I was like, shit, man, you could just go out and meet
Mm-hmm.
girls. So I started trying it out for myself, and of course, I sucked at it. I was getting rejected left and right, but I kept trying, and I kept going until I got good at it. Over the years, I started getting good. I started developing confidence, right? I
Mm-hmm.
started to develop a skill set, and man, I got to a point where I started coaching, man. Like that's where I'm at now. I have my groups called the Unbreakable Beast Tribe. I focus on inner game,
Mm-hmm.
being confident, grounded in your masculinity, and man, I just love talking about this stuff and sharing my story with others.
Awesome. So when it comes to the cold approach pickup, and you said in the high school you didn't have any success, and afterwards, now you reached a point where you're actually coaching that stuff and teaching others and helping them out. So, what do you think are the biggest things that helped you out when it comes to being successful with cold approach? And what do you think others should really focus on in order to be able to get there as well?
Mhm. Okay, so my best advice when it comes to cold approach is to not be unrealistic when you're going about it. In the beginning, you need to get focused on being comfortable with talking to strangers. Like most people are not even comfortable saying hi to a stranger. So start there. Don't go out. The mistake I made is I went out and I had this big idea. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up girls left and right. I'm gonna get numbers, this and that. And I
Mm-hmm.
went out and all this fear came up, approach anxiety, whatever you want to call it. And I used to just walk around for hours and I would maybe only approach one person. So in the beginning, just start off by getting comfortable with the process. Just start by saying hi to people. Get comfortable with that. Then maybe ask them how was your day, or
Mm-hmm.
just start small and keep building up, right? And then when you'll start building some confidence, and then when you see that girl you find attractive, go up to her, just say hi. See how you feel first. If you're starting to feel confident, then keep it going. Keep the conversation going, right? But don't be so focused, detached to the outcome. Like that shit doesn't work. You're gonna repel people because they're gonna feel that you want something. So in the beginning, just work on building your confidence, because what you want to build up is three things that I think are some inner game qualities you want to build up to be good with cold approach. The first one is grounded masculinity. So basically, you need to be able to approach a woman with confidence, with certainty. You need to be able to be relaxed, comfortable in your own skin. And then the second part is authentic expression. So once you're comfortable, relaxed, and confident in your own skin, you can just express yourself authentically. You can say whatever you want as long as you're confident. She will listen. She will want to hear what you're saying because she can see, oh, he's so relaxed, he's so confident. This guy's interesting. Most people
Mm-hmm.
are afraid of me or nervous or shit like that. So focus on the being comfortable in your own skin. Relaxed. Building up that confidence, the authentic expression. Don't worry about pickup lines and all that shit. I tried that out. All that shit doesn't matter, man. You want to get to a point where you can express yourself authentically, right? So you can connect with the right women and repel the wrong ones, right? We're not trying to get every single woman. That's not realistic. You want to be able to connect with the right women. And then the third
Mm-hmm.
part is leading. So you want to be able to lead in the interaction. You can't be passive. Just let the girl take over the conversation. You have to lead. You have to know, okay, I want to date this girl. I need to communicate in a way that lets her know that. If you think she's attractive, let her know. If she thinks
Mm-hmm.
she's cute, let her know. Whatever you like about her, let her know. And don't be walking on eggshells. Don't be afraid to get rejected. Because if they could tell you're afraid to get rejected, they're gonna sense that. They're gonna either reject you or put you in the friend zone because you're not strong enough to lead her. So it's
Mm-hmm.
that masculine energy, bro. It's being a man. I really focus on that, being a beast actually. Like
Mm-hmm.
not keep that pussy shit like in the past. I used to be a pussy, man. I'm just gonna be real. Right? And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't getting no girls, but I stepped up and built up my masculine energy and learned how to calibrate it, relax. Like when I'm talking to a girl, I'm playful, I'm smiling, right? I'm not aggressive, but I stay masculine, right? I'm leading and I know what I'm doing. And if I don't like what she's saying, I'll walk away. I'll walk away. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. And first of all, why do you think are the biggest reasons why guys don't approach women? I want to ask a bit more about that because I think nowadays one of the key things that you're going to see is that the majority of the guys they don't simply approach women outside in the real world. And first of all, why do you think that is, and what do you think how do you think guys can fix it and actually start approaching?
Got you. So, what I've experienced for myself and also for my clients, it's fear of rejection.
Mm-hmm.
It's fear of judgment, being judged not just by the girl, but people watching, the bystanders. Lack of self-worth, so feeling like you're not worthy of meeting a woman or talking to a beautiful woman. Past trauma, maybe some things have happened in the past that brought your confidence down. Insecurities, right? It's a combination of different things. And for me, I mean, honestly, man, the way how I did it is I just started putting myself out there little by little. Okay, like start where you can, right? Like if you can only walk up to a girl and just look at her for 1 second and walk away, that's better than nothing, man. Start there and build it up because you're gonna start building up confidence. You're gonna start realizing, nah, man, I am getting better. I can get good at this shit. I can work. I can become more confident and more worthy, right? And like work on yourself, like work on other characteristics. Like I believe a man should maximize as many areas as he can. Like you see me, I work on my physique. You want to work on your style. You want to feel good about yourself, right? Because the reason why we're afraid of rejection and stuff like that is because we don't feel good about ourselves. And if we get rejected, we're gonna feel worse, right? So work on yourself, tap into your potential. Like do the things that make you happy, do the things you enjoy, surround yourself with positive people, like create a good vibe, good energy, so that you're more confident and more able to go out there and put yourself out there, right? Because if you feel like you have no value or you're not cool, not a cool guy or whatever, you're not going to want to put yourself out there. So work on yourself, make sure you focus on self-love, self-respect, you know um self-worth. And then, as I said, take put yourself out there in little small doses that you can handle. If it's only saying hi, start there. If it's only asking for direction, start there. Like my clients, when I work with them, I that's how I do it. I don't just tell them to go out and approach women right away unless they're ready for that. If some guys are confident, they could go right into it. But if you're afraid of rejection, all that stuff, that's cool. I was like that too. And I worked my way
Mm-hmm.
up. I used to go to old ladies, talk to old
Mm-hmm.
ladies, because I didn't have enough confidence to consistently go up to attractive women. So I talk to some old ladies, some old men. I build up that confidence, and then sometimes I feel confident, and I'll go to that attractive girl, and I'll share that positive energy with her. So Yeah, the fear of rejection, man. What I found is you just have to, it's exposure therapy, man. You got to put yourself out there, but in little doses that you can handle. Don't overwhelm yourself, because if you overwhelm yourself, it's gonna be a traumatic experience, and you're not gonna want to go out for another week or a month, right?
Hmm.
And the only way to get good is being consistent. So it's better to be consistent doing little small things every day and keep building up versus you try to go out there and you're like, yeah, I need to pick up every girl, and then you go and you get rejected really badly, and now your self esteem is down the drain, and you don't want to do the shit anymore. So don't do that.
Yeah, this is what I've noticed as well with me back in the days when I was doing cold approach. That, for example, we start just by little, even just by starting by asking for directions and asking people and women, hey, where can I find a supermarket or a drugstore or wherever, and
Yeah.
then you can slightly build it up, and then you can go indirect, then you can go direct, and everything, and you can build it up. But if you try to go, if you have super high approach anxiety, and if you try to go with something quite big, like going direct or doing something riskier, like you won't be possible to do it. You simply you won't be able to do it. But if you go with small steps, it's much easier.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And uh, and the other thing I want to ask you is like, um, what do you think are the best ways for guys to build up their confidence to be able to talk to women in a way that they'll be able to naturally express themselves without caring about the outcome or if they get rejected or anything?
Hmm. So, once again, I'm just gonna have to look at my own experience, how I built it up, because I feel like I'm very confident now, very confident, very
Hmm.
grounded in my masculinity. But I was the complete opposite of that when I started, and so my journey literally was exposure therapy, like consistently putting myself out there every single day. It builds up. It's the same way, like, working out, exercise. If you go to the gym every single day and you do what you can, right, you're not going to
Hmm.
be a beast. You're not going to be a beast in the beginning, but if you keep consistently, lifting the weights and building it up, you're going to become a beast. And it's the same thing with approaching women. Like, if you start off and you can only talk to an old lady, which was me, but if you keep doing it every single day, you're going to get more confident. You're going to start getting some positive responses. You're going to start making people's day. You're going to be like, wow, I do have some value. I can make people feel good. I can make people happy, and I can make a woman happy too. You start believing that shit little by little because you start getting the experiences to back that up.
Hmm.
Okay. And another thing I want to tell guys is like, don't be so picky in the beginning. Guys like, yeah, I only like nines and eights and nines and blonde girl and girl with fat ass and this and that and this and that. Bro, you're not ready for that. You know what I mean? You can't handle that right now. Like, work your way up. If you only get a 6 and a 7 in the beginning, that's practice
Hmm.
getting you ready for the eights, nines, and tens. You got to get that practice because let's say you do get an 8, 9, and 10. She's gonna destroy you, man. They get a lot of practice. Guys are always hitting on them. So they know how to deal with guys. They know how to manipulate you and use you and get
Hmm.
what they want and then drop you off.
Hmm.
So it's better for you to start where you are. Maybe you get some fives and sixes in the beginning. That's okay. Because you're gonna get the 7, 8, 9, and 10 if you keep getting better. Guaranteed,
Hmm.
you're gonna get them. So just work your way up, build it up, and you will build up that confidence, man, if you're consistent. And as I said, do other things. Work on your physique, gain more knowledge, learn about female nature, female psychology, so when you approach these women, you know what's going on. Do the things you love to do. Create a life that you enjoy, that you love, so you're in positive energy, good vibes all the time. And just keep working on yourself, man, and see the positive in life and stop focusing on the negative. Stop complaining about shit. Stop making
Hmm.
excuses. Get away from negative people. Don't blame anybody. Don't blame your parents. Don't blame nobody. Just take responsibility and say, how can I create a better version of myself? Right? How can I build my confidence, get better at least 1% every day? I try to get better more than that, but at least
Hmm.
every single day do something that's gonna make you better and build your confidence. So that's how I did it.
Okay. So, what do you think are the key things that a guy needs to do within the first minutes of an interaction? For example, within the first minute of approaching a girl, does the guy needs to do in order for the girl to get attracted to him, in order to trigger that attraction, in also to be able to get that interest and to hook her up? What do you think are the key things that a guy needs to do in order for this to happen?
Yeah. So when you approach a woman, you got to think, okay, what do I want her to feel? Right? Because we know women are emotional, right? They're emotional creatures and they make decisions based off of emotion. So what do I want her to feel? Right? When I
Hmm.
approach a woman, I want her to feel good. I want her to feel positive. I want her to feel like, whoa, who's this guy? I want her to feel, oh, this is interesting, or this is new, this is different, right? You want to get her attention in a positive way in the beginning. So when I approach a woman, I'm gonna approach her with confidence, man. If I approach her and I'm looking down or I'm not unsure about myself or whatever, she's gonna feel awkward, right? I don't want her to feel awkward. I don't want her to feel who's this weird guy. So I'm gonna be smiling. I'm gonna have direct eye contact. I'm gonna look her in the eye. I'm not gonna be looking down, looking around the place. And I'm gonna know what I want to say, right? If I want to say, hey, I just thought you were attractive. I want to come and say hi, right? And I give her space. Like I'm not all up in her space. I give her space and I say what I have to say, and I have a smile on my face, and I'm detached from the outcome. Like I want her to know, look, you just caught my attention, and I'm just saying hi. This is not like a serious thing. Like I'm not like, oh, I need to get you or anything like that. It's just I'm just checking the vibes. So
Hmm.
you want to be detached. It's kind of like I tell guys, like, see yourself as a king, right? You're a king. You have your own kingdom, you have your own throne, right? And you going out and you're looking to see which women in the village are qualified to be your queen. So you're screening women, you're qualifying them. You're not walking up like, oh, I don't have any love, I don't have any sex, I need some love and sex. No, you're not gonna get no girls with that vibe. You're going out and you're a king, you know your value, and you're just gonna go and see who's worthy to be your queen, right? That's the mentality I have, right? It's not like I'm actually like I am a king, right? But anyway, so you go up and that's your attitude, right? And you keep your space and you're not impressed. That's the vibe. You're not impressed. You're like, it's another human being. I'm not putting her on a pedestal or anything. Yes, she's physically attractive, but let's see who's the person on the inside. So yeah,
Hmm.
you want to walk up, direct eye contact, a slight smile on your face, relaxed vibe. You're leaning back. You're not like all up on her. You're leaning back, and you just say whatever you feel like saying. Don't filter your communication, because if you filter your communication right away, what are you telling yourself mentally? She's on a pedestal, right? The only time you filter your communication when you value someone higher than you, and you're afraid of them rejecting you, or you want their approval or some shit like that. And that's not how you get women. You're not gonna get no women with that. So it's a very laid back vibe, and you just express yourself. If you feel like saying, "Hey, I thought you were attractive. I want to come and say hi." That's my favorite line. I just say that, and I check her response. Like if she says, "Oh, hey, how are you?" and I say, "Yeah, I'm feeling good." I was just, I just got finished with a workout. I feel strong. I feel powerful. And I wanted to
Hmm.
share this energy with you. I literally just say whatever comes to my mind, and if she's feeling my vibe, she'll make it work. She'll say, "Oh, really? You just worked out? Where do you work out at?" Or what? But if she's quiet and she's like, "Oh, that's good," or if she's obviously not into it, then I'm like, "Okay, all right, well, have a great day." Or if she's really that cute, I might dig it. I might dig a little further with her, maybe change the subject, right? But the whole point is like grounded masculinity, right? Like you know what you want, you know why you're there, but you're not attached to the outcome. You're relaxed, right? But you're confident. You're looking her in her eye. You're smiling. You're positive. You're not reactive, right? You don't give a fuck what she says. You're just creating your vibe. You're creating your day. You know what I mean? You're meeting people, and if she wants to submit because she finds you attractive, then great. If she doesn't want to submit, then that's okay too. You got to be able to walk away and be okay with both sides of the coin, yes or no, right? Same thing with sales.
Hmm.
When I see it the similar as sales. Like when you're selling your product, some people are gonna say yes, some people are gonna say no. You can't take it personal and make it ruin your day. You just move on to the next person, because you might get to
Hmm.
someone and they'll be all over it. They'll be like, man, I really want this shit, right? You can go
Hmm.
to one girl and she rejects you, and you go to the next one and that one's all over your dick. You know what I mean? Like I've
Hmm.
seen that. Like you say the same exact thing. So it's just having this understanding, like, yo, let me just make sure I'm a grounded masculine man. I'm expressing myself authentically. I'm leading. And if she follows, great. If not, then on to the next.
Okay. And what do you think the strategy should be for guys, for example, after that period, after they, for example, they approach a girl, they see it's on, they see that they like, she likes them. What should be their plan? Should be to get her phone number, try to set up a date, to try to get an instant date at the same time, to try to make things happen the same day, or what usually do you think? What are the best strategies, and how do you find, what is the best thing to do in the situation, so to speak?
Yeah, usually what I do, bro, is I just tell the girl, like, if it was good vibes, I'll just say, hey, I actually enjoy talking to you. It'd be cool to grab, do you like smoothies or you like wine? What do you like? I'll just say some shit like that. And she'll say, oh, I like wine, or I love smoothie. I'll be like, yeah, well, I know this smoothie place, so and so place. We could grab some smoothies one of these days. What's your number? Or what's your
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat? Depending on the vibe, right? And that's how I do it. And then I try to set it up, sometime that week. I don't like to wait too long because I don't want the vibe to die down. So usually sometime that week, I'm detached from the outcome, right? So, I kind of just, obviously you need to lead as a man, but at the same time, if she's busy or whatever, that's fine. I'm like, okay, cool, whenever you're free. So you literally, you do have to lead. You do have to let her, like, take the lead and say, hey, do you want to grab some wine? Do you want to go, whatever you like to do. I found that going out for wine and a smoothie is a great date, like a first date. So that's why I go to
Mm-hmm.
those two. And that's what I recommend because it's light, it's not expensive. I know in my area, I'm in Orlando, Florida. There's like a specific place I always go. It has a wine place, and it also has a lake and a park, so we can grab wine and then we could walk around the park and create a vibe or whatever, and then and it's usually goes really well. So you wanna kind of practice like uh creating like your own go-to place that you're very comfortable with so you can be comfortable in the environment and really lead and take control. And that's what I do. I go to pretty much the same place every single time because I'm super comfortable, super confident, and I bring the girl on a journey. She can be feminine and submissive because I'm so in control of the environment. I'm super masculine, alpha, whatever you want to call it. So she can
Mm-hmm.
be feminine and submissive, right?
Okay. So I want to ask you, what do you think are the differences between doing day game and night game? What's the different approach that you need to do compared to both? And which one do you prefer yourself and why? And also, which one do you think it works better? And yeah, what are the differences between both, and how do you see it?
So day game and night game. So I like them both. I think I prefer day game more because I've found in day game you connect with women more because they're sober. They're usually not drunk or under some influence or whatever. And it's in the daytime. So like if a girl's giving you a time of day, like during the day, there's probably really some interest there because usually they're doing something, right? Maybe they're shopping or they're going somewhere, whatever. So she actually stops and talks to you and stuff like that. That means there's some interest there, and if she gives you her number while she's sober, she's into you. You know what I mean? To some extent. Versus in the club, girls, from what I remember in night game, I haven't been doing as much recently, but I used to go out a lot. Like I remember there was one time I was going out every single night, and from my experience, I remember one night, I even got like 8 numbers in one night, and I think maybe like only 2 of them remembered who I was. That doesn't happen in the daytime. A girl will always remember you in the daytime. In the night, she's drunk. So many things are happening. Maybe she gave her number to a lot of guys. You know what I mean? So it's a little
Mm-hmm.
it's less of a connection. But night game, I would say, is really good for if you want one night stands and you're just trying to get some pussy or whatever. Like it's great for that because it's like high energy. You can get away with a lot more. It's sexual. Like I like to go in the dance floor and you
Mm-hmm.
could grind with the girl, get really physical and stuff like that. And with night game, my goal is really to pull the same night because, like I said, they're under the influence and stuff like that, and a lot of times they won't remember as much the next day. It's kind of harder to get them, so I try to pull that same day. So usually I'll really like turn up the attraction and give them a really good time, and then say, hey, if she's really turned on and she's really into my vibe, I'll try to isolate her from her friends, and I'll be like, yo, you want to join me back at my place, or I'm enjoying this time with
Mm-hmm.
you or whatever. And if she says yes, then we bounce. If not, then whatever. I take her number and I see if I can get her on a date the next day. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But I found between the two, me personally, I prefer day game because it's realer
Hmm.
connections and it's more authentic and real versus night game to me is more fun. It's like if you want to have fun, you just want to get laid and you want to,
Hmm.
just have a great time, night game is better for that, in my opinion.
Hmm. Yeah. And based on what you say, my experience is kind of the same because,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I've noticed back in the days I used to track everything, and I was doing cold approach, and I was doing day game and night game, and I was tracking. I was seeing that, for example, with day game, I was actually taking less numbers. For example, with
Mm-hmm.
night game, I was taking way more numbers than day game. But I've noticed that, for example, from day game, I had much higher percentage of women I was able to go on a date compared to
Mm-hmm.
night game. From night game, I had much lower percentage compared to, let's say, compared to day game when it comes to how many women I was able to go out with. And I think it was very interesting when I saw that. And I don't know if it's the same with everyone, but I noticed for myself that the percentage was much lower to be able to go out with her. Um, Even though I've noticed that if I'm able to pull the same night from night game, let's say my chance turned from, let's say, 30% to like 100%, but and then I figure out the best thing is for night game if you can actually pull the same night,
Yeah.
even though it's much harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my personal experience, when it comes to cold approach. So do you think it's like that for everyone, or do you think it varies compared to, let's say, day game to be easier when it comes to being able to get them on a date compared to night game?
Yeah, so I notice um I guess it depends. So I think I'm pretty good at day game,
Hmm.
right? So um because for example, I have some friends. They're not good at day game. Like they're not really that confident, to be honest, in real life when they're sober and stuff like that. Versus in the club, they get drunk and they can go up to any girl, and and so they get better results in night game because they haven't really developed the real core confidence and stuff that's necessary for day game.
Hmm.
So yeah, I can see like there may be a bias depending on the qualities that you have, like
Hmm.
if you're truly a confident guy who can walk up to anyone in the daytime and have a conversation and stuff, day game's probably going to be better for you because you're going to shine. You're going to stand
Hmm.
out. You're going to In the club it's way more competition. Like even though you're going up and approaching girls, the other guys are doing it too, and they're drunk, so they're gonna seem more confident, or it's just that's why I said it's to me it's more of like fun. I don't take it as serious because I know most of these people it's not even their real personality. Like sometimes you'll meet a girl
Hmm.
in the club and she'll be one way, and when you meet her in person, she's not really like that because she was drunk or under some
Hmm.
drug or whatever that in the club, and there's other things going on like the social context, their friends around, they're going to act different, versus how they would normally act in the daytime. A girl's probably much more sweet, more feminine, more relaxed and stuff. So yeah, I think it depends on your qualities that you have. Like for example, a really good looking guy can do really good at night game. I've seen that.
Hmm.
Like even if he doesn't have that much confidence, like he can go in night game and do good because the girl will just be like, oh, he's hands, he's really good looking, and she's drunk, so she doesn't give a fuck. Versus
Hmm.
in the daytime, if he just shows up with looks, that's not good enough. Like, cause she's sober, she knows like, okay, yeah, you're good looking, but what else? What else you got? And if he has no confidence, rejection, friend zone,
Hmm.
Versus in the club, it's like a more of an illusion. So yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Okay, sounds good. And I want to ask you right now, how do you think, let's say, the whole cold approach changed with COVID and with the pandemic? Is it different now compared to before? And what are the differences in how guys should approach women during COVID right now? Especially right now, I think it's kind of but the end of the pandemic, so to speak, because we have the vaccine and everything. But what do you think changed with COVID and how guys should do it now?
Yeah, so my perspective is going to be interesting. I actually think the COVID it got easier. to pick up women. The reason I say that is because they're really not expecting it now. You know, like when a guy come, because I all last year I was going out and doing cold approach, right? And that's when
Mm-hmm.
the pandemic was at its seriousness. And last year was one of my best years as far as like getting dates and getting laid and all that stuff. That was one of my best years, my most successful years. And it was because when I would approach these women, they were like, "What the fuck? This guy doesn't give a fuck." You know, we're supposed to be social distancing, and we have masks on, and he still approach it. You know, I would still approach. They had the mask out. You know, sometimes I wouldn't wear my mask, like, you know, just to be a badass or whatever. But sometimes, some places you have to wear your mask, so I'd have my mask on, but I would still approach, same confidence, right? And sometimes the girl, like, she falls into your vibe. She takes her mask off. You know, like I used to see it all the time. So for me, it got easier. Now it got easier in the sense that women were responding better because it's like you're more you stand out more, you're more interesting when you do it now, right? Now keep
Mm-hmm.
in mind, you gotta be comfortable in your own skin, you gotta be confident, able to express, like, you gotta work on those core qualities. So I'm not stupid here. I'm not saying like any random guy can just go and it's gonna be easy. Like, you gotta work on yourself. But if you work on yourself and you put yourself out there, they're responding really well now because they're it's just surprising to them. Like, what the fuck? Where's this guy's confidence coming from, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then also it requires a lot of balls and courage too. Like, you're demonstrating a lot of uh, great qualities when you do it. You're demonstrating courage. You're demonstrating you don't give a fuck. You're demonstrating
Mm-hmm.
masculinity. You're demonstrating your ability to handle the environment, right? You're not afraid of some authority come and say, "Hey, you can't talk to her." Like, you don't give a fuck. So you're showing a lot of traits that women, you know, get turned on by, right? Like, subconsciously, right? Without, you know, whether they like it or not. So that has been my experience, bro. My results have gotten better during COVID. So when people make excuses, I don't like to hear it because I know that
Mm-hmm.
I was able to make the shit happen, right? During when it was in its toughest, when it was the worst, right? When they were like making a big deal and people were, you know, going crazy. I was out there picking up women left and right. So yeah, my personally, I think it's gotten easier, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that sounds good. And what do you think are the best places that guys can go right now to meet women? Considering the situation that we are all in.
Yeah, so I would say the grocery stores. I've had a lot of success in the grocery store. Like I don't know where. I'm in Orlando, Florida. Over here we have Walmart, we have Target, we have Publix, right? So grocery stores, the mall. If the mall's open where you are, the mall is open over here, so the mall is great. The park, you know, those are the main places. You know, anywhere that you would find people walking around. Like, sometimes I'll go to like certain plazas. They have like certain plazas where they have like a bunch of restaurants, like a strip, and I'll walk, you know, just go for a walk or whatever, and I'll meet some girls. So pretty much anywhere, man. It honestly, wherever you'll find girls, you know, you just gotta be um calibrate to your environment. Do not violate your environment. Like, don't, you know, that's one thing I'm very aware of, is I don't violate my environment. Like, I just put out positive energy, and if somebody doesn't like my approach, I walk away. I don't stay and try to I need to, you know, overpower them or some shit like that. No, like, I'm just very laid back, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and wise, you know, socially intelligent, socially aware. But yeah, you could pick up women anywhere, man. There's really, I don't see any, I haven't had any issues with finding women or anything like that.
Okay, good. And when it comes to setting up dates, let's say, because I guess when the bars and clubs are closed, you cannot bring them to a bar. So, what are your, let's say, where do you take women on dates now in the situation?
Yeah, so when it was, because right now over here in Orlando, Florida, it's everything is open. But when it wasn't, I would take them to smoothie places. Yeah, I would take them to get a smoothie or ice cream or something like that. And if not, you know, I would, you know, if anything, I'd probably take them to a park, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a
Okay.
lake, like walk around the lake or something, or a trail. I've
Mm-hmm.
done those kind of dates as well. Um, I've gotten one girl to agree to, like, come directly. I don't really like doing that because you know, I know it's uncomfortable for most girls, so I don't really go for that all the time. But if the vibe is there, sometimes I'll just suggest, hey, you want to just come to my place? You
Hmm.
know, so
Okay.
sometimes that works, but I don't really do that too much because that to me that kind of comes off as too thirsty, you know what I mean? So better to
Hmm.
just find a park or you know, some place anywhere, as long as you don't give a fuck, like as long as you're confident about it, she'll go with it. It's if you're unsure and you're like, oh, I don't know where we should go, then she's gonna be like, all right, well, I don't know either. But if you know, you know, you just say, hey, we're going to the park, or hey, we're going to the smoothie, she'll be like, okay, you know.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. The other thing that I wanted to ask you, because I see a lot of guys posting in different Facebook groups, and they're saying that, for example, you need to be a white guy to get good results with women. For example, if you're a black person or Asian, it will be much harder to get good results with women. So, what can you say about this? You know, someone who is like a black man. You know, what can you say about to those people when it comes to getting results with women?
Yeah, I would just say, man, it's all a bunch of bullshit, man. You know, it's limiting beliefs. The reality is, if you believe that, oh, I'm black, oh, I'm Asian, oh, I'm this, that's why they don't like me, then that's gonna be your reality, right? Like,
Hmm.
because you're literally creating that. You're setting that intention. You're putting that out into your world, into your universe, and you're communicating that. Like the woman is feeling that. Like whether you think they can't feel that shit, they can feel it. Like this dude doesn't believe that he's worthy of me or whatever. They feel that shit, bro. So you can't be thinking like that, or else you're just self sabotaging yourself. So my advice is whatever you are, own it. Like just love yourself, man. Stop acting stupid. Like just love yourself, respect yourself. Look for people who are doing it. Like I'd find guys on YouTube or in real life, black guys that are killing it. And I say, "Oh, if he can do it, I can do it too." You know,
Hmm.
there's all types of guys that are killing it with pickup. Like I've seen short guys, tall guys, black guy, white guy, Spanish, this, that, fat, ugly. I've seen all types of guys get good at picking up women because they made a decision. Oh, I'm gonna get good at this, you know. And
Hmm.
everyone starts off not good at it, right? Like I always tell my story in my when I make my Facebook lives and stuff. Like I know I look confident and I look like I get women now, but I was not like this when I started. When I started, I would literally I would freeze up sometimes when I would walk up to women, right? I would be sweating, right? I would be so nervous, man. I would be afraid of rejection, all of that. But I just
Hmm.
kept getting better. I just kept improving each and every day. Kept working on my mindset. You know, I had limiting beliefs too. You know, I used to think, oh, you know, I'm too shy, I'm too quiet, no girl's gonna want me, and I just like evolved out of that. You know, like
Hmm.
I found ways to amplify, you know, my archetype, right? So
Hmm.
figure that out. Like, okay, let's say you're a black guy, but it's not even about being a black guy. Like, do you make yourself an attractive black guy? You know,
Hmm.
like I can easily make myself unattractive. If I stop working out, if I stop working on my communication, if I just become a lazy piece of shit, then no
Hmm.
girl's gonna want me. It doesn't matter if it's black or white. It's just I'm just not being attractive. But
Hmm.
they look at the whole picture. They don't just look at one thing. Oh, he's this, oh, he's that. They're looking at the whole picture. They're looking at how you look, how you sound, how you carry yourself, your energy. You know, they're looking at the social context, like what is your situation as far as like your social status. They're looking at everything and they're putting everything into context and they're measuring you up against other men. So my thing is, as a man, you want to become, you know, before my group, it's called Unbreakable Beast Tribe, but when I just started it, I called it the Sexy Beast Tribe because as a man, you want to ask yourself, how can I become sexy? And becoming sexy is you just amplifying your traits. Like women, what
Hmm.
do? They put on makeup, they dress in real nice clothes. You know, they try to act seductive. They talk a certain way, they move a certain way, they move their hips a certain way. You know what I mean? They do all these things to make themselves more attractive. So we as men need to do the same thing, right? And a lot of it is more so, you know, the inner game, like the character, like work on the inner game, because women are more, they're not just like we focus more on looks, but they don't focus on looks as much. They focus on the whole thing. So just
Hmm.
figure out how can I become the most attractive version of myself and keep working on that every single day, and don't make excuses. Don't say, "Oh, I'm black." Oh, that's just so ridiculous. You're
Yeah.
sabotaging yourself when you do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you hear people that, I always think like, people have so many limiting beliefs when it comes to what's required to be successful, and it's always the guys who are not successful that actually are taking that stuff. And if you find someone who is successful with women, all the men who are successful with women, you see how they think completely differently when it comes to what really works. Um, and the other thing that I want to ask you is, what do you think are the key points? What would be your best tips, if you can want to give guys right now who want to get good at cold approach pickup and meeting women in real life? What would be your best advice to them in order to be able to improve that skill?
Mhm. My best advice is to work on these three qualities. Okay, the first one is grounded masculinity. You need to be a masculine man. What does that mean? I used to be, they say alpha and beta, right? I used to be a
Hmm.
beta male, man. I used to be passive. I used to be unsure. I used to wait for the girl to make a move. That shit is not cool, man. You're basically being a little girl, like a pussy. That shit is whack, bro. It doesn't work. You need to become more masculine. You need to become more assertive. You need to have goals. You need to start moving forward, start improving yourself, start being disciplined, start having some conviction. You know what I mean? Like, have a backbone, be a man of your word. Like, get into your masculine energy. Be like the dad. I don't know, think of the greatest dad that you wish you had. Be like that. Like, be a strong man. Are the men from like the caveman days. Like, they were strong, they were masculine, they were not on no pussy shit because they couldn't be. It was survival. You have to survive with lions and shit like that in the jungle. Like, you got to be like that, but calibrated, right? So it's not like I'm going around like beating my chest, but I go around and I demand respect because I carry myself as a masculine man. And then you got to be grounded. So you got to be able to handle shit. You got to be able to handle tests. People are going to test you. People are going to challenge you. People are going to try to bully you. People are trying to disrespect you. There's going to be haters. And you can't be running away from that shit. You got to seek it out. You got to be like, where's the hater? Where's the challenge? Like, you got to be like, let's go. Like, that's the energy that when you bring that energy to a woman, she gets turned on because she's like, this is a real man.
Hmm.
Their pussy starts to tingle. Like, she's not gonna say that. She's not gonna be like, "Oh, my pussy's tingling." But I'm telling you, when you have that masculine energy and you're putting it out there, but it's grounded, meaning she knows that you're not a threat to her. Like, she knows she's safe with you, but the environment, right? If somebody tries to become a threat, you're gonna step up. She doesn't have to worry about anything because she knows you're the type of man that's gonna step up and handle shit. So you really want to work on that, right? And how you do it is by challenging yourself every single day. Challenge yourself by approaching women. Go out there, face your fears. Challenge yourself by working out every day. Challenge yourself by getting up early. Challenge yourself by watching what you eat. Challenge yourself by, improving your style. Challenge yourself by sharpening your mind. Like, challenge yourself. That's how you become more masculine and you become more grounded, is you handle challenges every single day, handle tension. And then when people try you, you could look them in the eye and not budge, and you know what I mean, not be scared of them because you've been challenged. You went through some shit and you know what's up. You're ready to go. So
Hmm.
that's one, you want to work on that, and you could work on that many ways, and you could work on it through approaching. Like, just go out, approach women. You'll build up your grounded masculinity because the women are gonna test you, and you're gonna learn how to overcome the tests, and you're gonna become stronger, more confident. The second one's authentic expression. So you want to stop filtering your communication. Stop trying to be nice to people. Stop trying to uh not offend anybody or be a people pleaser, all that bullshit. Just stop doing that. You're not gonna get any girls. I used to do that. I used to try to be nice and not ruffle anyone's feathers and not have an opinion and shit like that. Women don't respect that shit. They're basically just seeing you as weak. If you demonstrate weakness to a woman, she's not gonna want to fuck with you, man. She's gonna put you in a friend zone or she's gonna reject you. That's those two
Hmm.
options you have. So just be the type of man that can say what he wants to say, do what he wants to do, and not give a fuck. But don't violate anyone, right? Don't do anything against the law. Don't violate anyone. Don't do anything that's disrespectful. But express yourself authentically. Like be the real you, right? Like if
Mhm.
if you don't like something, tell the girl, hey, I don't like that. Like, if you don't like her dress, say, I don't really like that dress. Don't be like one of those guys that's like everything she does is okay. Oh yes, I
Mhm.
love this, I love that, I love that. No, you don't, man. Tell her to, express yourself and be truthful, right? And be okay with losing the girl or whatever. And then the third one is leadership. You gotta lead. Women hate when a guy is like, hey, so what do you think we should do? Or what do you want to do? And shit. Like, no, she wants you to lead, right? And then if anything, she'll say, oh, let's do something different today, right? But you
Mhm.
start by leading. She wants you to lead during sex. I always like to use that example. If you're having sex with a girl, imagine you're having sex with her and you're like, okay, so what position should we try next? Like, no, just grab her and put her in the position. That's what they want. They want you to, just take control, and that's what gives them the experience of life when they can just be submissive and be feminine. When a
Mhm.
real grounded masculine man shows up, that's when she can be a real woman. The reason
Mhm.
they're saying women are like being more masculine and more alpha now because a lot of guys have become feminine and become passive, right? Men need to step up if we want the world to change. If we want women to start being more feminine and more submissive, we have to be more masculine. We have to lead more. We have to stop putting them on a pedestal and bowing down to the pussy and worshiping the pussy and all that stupid shit. Like, we are the
Mhm.
men, we are the kings, right? We need to see ourselves as kings, see ourselves as royalty, see ourselves as beasts, as monsters, as whatever. Like, stop being these little boys that are chasing pussy around or whatever. Like, cold approach. Like, some people will say, "Oh, why you do cold approach? You chasing women?" No, I'm not chasing women. I just see it as an opportunity to build my character and meet women as a man. You know what I mean? Like, a real man should be able to go up to a woman and tell her, "Hey, I think you're attractive," but also be detached from the outcome, right? Like, if she is, I have boundaries. I have a certain type of woman I want. If she doesn't meet that, then it's dead. You walk away and you move on to the next girl. Like, it's not like I'm going out to get women to because I need love or I need something. No, it builds your character. It makes you more confident.
Mhm.
These women will test you, and it's not easy to pick these women up. Like, that's why when I see people do cold approach, I'm like, respect, because that shit is not easy, man. You're gonna get rejected. These girls don't give a fuck. Like, they don't. These are strangers, so they're not gonna be nice. Sometimes they'll be like, yo, get out my face, or they'll, hey, I have a boyfriend, and you know what I mean? And if you can deal with that consistently, that's respect. You know what I mean? That's gonna
Mhm.
strengthen your character. Um, so yeah, those three qualities I believe a man should work on: grounded masculinity, authentic expression, and leadership. And then become sexy, right? You talked about in the Facebook Live that we did in my group. You talked about the archetypes that are attractive on Tinder, like bad boy, adventurous. Yeah, create an archetype that's sexy.
Mhm.
There's guys that women go for. Create your own version of that. Like, I was like, yo, I like, I have a little bad boy in me. Let me amplify that.
Mhm.
I have that successful business side too. Let me work on that. I could be artistic. I play the piano and stuff like that. Let me amplify that. Let me become sexy. You just be an average guy. You walk up to a girl and you're the average guy trying to, hey, I think you're beautiful. So what if you think she's beautiful? Like, what do you have to give her? She's beautiful. Now, what do you have? That's the
Mhm.
question. All right.
Yeah, and so many guys when they say to a woman just giving compliments like, "Oh, you're so beautiful" or whatever, this is when you're just taking, not offering any value because you're just. But yeah, but just saying that she's pretty, you're not offering anything. You're not showing character. You're not showing that strength that women are really looking for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so if guys want to find more about you and to check out your content, where they can go and find you, to seek more of your advice, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. So, you guys can find me on Facebook, Trey Morgan, Trey Morgan. Also, you can search for my group. It's called the Unbreakable Beast Tribe, and that group is mainly about developing unbreakable self confidence, eliminating your fear of approaching women, And, you know, I focus a lot on cold approach. So if you want to learn cold approach or you have an interest in that, I could definitely help you with that. And, you know, and just becoming the most attractive version of yourself. You know what I mean? Being a real man and being an attractive man.
Mhm. Okay, great. And if you can give one final advice for guys when it comes to meeting women from cold approach pickup, what would be your advice to them?
My advice is stop being a pussy.
Stop being a pussy.
Yeah, just like be the type of guy that be an alpha male, bro. Be masculine. Like be a real man. Like stop trying to impress women. Stop trying to make them like you. Stop trying to be nice. Just be a man of value. Like show up with some value. Show up and make her day. Show up and make her feel good. Show up and create an experience for her. Like when you talk to these women in cold approach, don't go up boring as fuck. Like go up, hey, how you doing? Beast right now, you know? I would say shit like that because it's an experience. They're like, wait, who is this guy? I'm like, yo, I just
Hmm.
came from the gym. I was doing one arm push ups. You know how hard it is to do some one arm push? You know, like just create an experience. And she's like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? That's how you got to be. But the only way you could be like that is if you don't give a fuck. Because if you're afraid
Hmm.
of her, you're not going to do that. You're going to go up, hey, I just wanted to come and say hi. I thought you were pretty. You're not going to get no girls, man.
Yeah.
So that's my advice, man. Just don't be a pussy. Don't be a beta male or whatever.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you very much for the time today. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Appreciate it, bro. Take care.
Take care.